I'm moving as fast as I can, sending my prayers to God. He doing whatever he can.
Beautiful black folks. What's up with you, man? How y'all feeling today? It's your boy Smith the Speaker. You already know how I get down, how I rock. You know what I'm saying? It's Mannish Monday, up in the building all day long. Before we even get started, and I bring my boy to this, look, understand this. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, share with your folks. Now you get that out the way. Understand this. If you see me right now, it's kind of like foggy a little bit. I'm not at the pad. I'm not at the laboratory right now. I'm actually out and about to do this because the cat that you got to understand, like man, I got to, anyway, this is where I'm at. Forget all of that. You just hear my voice because you know about me. It's about the words that I'm bringing to you, the energy, the motivation, the positivity. You know what I'm saying? So this cat right here, so understand I think you guys know how I rock. Like everything is organic. From every person I had on this show is purposeful, intentional, mindful, right? And so when I took Smith the Speaker from Sunday and I moved it to Monday, and it came Mannish Monday, you know, when I thought about it, like Mannish Monday, there was like immediately two cats that popped into my mind. Like, I gotta have them on because when I think men and I think Mannish, you know, bop, that, you know, that's what goes into my mind. You know how like you be brainwashed or some shit and you get that vibe and like some things just resonate to you when you hear certain things, you know what I'm saying? They get connected like that. So without further ado, what I want to do is I'm gonna bring my boy in because he's got a tight window and I want to make sure that I'm mindful of that. Mac man, what is it, Playboy?
What's happening? How you doing today?
Man, look here, folks. I can't even put into words what this young cat means. Like I call him young. He younger than me.
Young OG. Young OG.
Right. We came in, like we connected long time ago. Kind of like our lives mirrored each other, had daughters that kind of same age, work, all of this stuff. So I just want to let you, man, introduce yourself, give yourself some background because you're a man of many things, my man. And I don't want to leave nothing out. I want you to highlight what your bio should be and introduce yourself to the folks.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. My government name is Tre Simms, but I also go by Tre, Coach Tre. I've been coaching for a long time. Even when I didn't have kids, I started off coaching basketball, football, baseball, just to get back to the community. So that's how the name Coach Tre stepped with me. Tre is short for Tremaine, but yeah, they also call me Maniac because just growing up, I was just a hard-head, crazy guy. Just out there doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing. But at a point in time, you know, I changed my life around and became a very successful person.
Playboy, I already know. And we're gonna get into all of that. So I want to give y'all some insight real quick. So when I was chopping it up with him today, he said, "What are we gonna talk about, Smith?" I was like, I said, just trust me, right? And so with that said, you go when you got some real folks in your circle, you know, and they trust you enough to come on and kind of believe in you so much. Like I ain't gonna throw him under the bus. I ain't gonna ask him no retarded ass questions. I ain't gonna be doing nothing that impact his career in this professional world that he got going on. So with that being said, when we start talking about trust and we start talking about friendship, you coming up, the circle that you had, that you created, was you mindful of like, oh, okay, I'm a keep these cats in my circle, or did it just happen organically, like you just gravitated towards people, you know what I'm saying, and to form the friendship of cats that was in your circle as you was coming up?
I mean, at some point when you get friends come and go, but at some point you realize that the people that you hang around with, they're going to be there for life. You know, like you say, I hang around with a small circle, very small circle, and I keep my circle small. I pretty much like dealing with people that's either on my level or doing better than me, because what it does is it motivates me to be a better person. So, I mean, it all started from, you know, middle school, junior high school. We just all became friends, good friends, grew up together. call each other's moms. Um, Everybody went to school together. Well, not together, but everybody went to school at the same time. I'm talking college and summer breaks that everybody used to come back. And that's when you know your true friendship, when you could go to their graduation and watch them graduate from a 4-year college. Um, when you get invited to the baby showers, when you get invited to the mom's 50th birthday party, those are people that you consider true friends. And I've been doing that with, my circle for a long time. So those are the people that I consider my true friends. And years later, we still rocking together. So I'm proud of everybody.
Yeah, yeah. And see, that's what I think. Like when I get on here and I bring cats like on, so let me say this uh for full transparency. Me and Maine done presented in different institutions,
Oh yeah.
different schools at different times to make sure like we give that energy back, that we provide some sort of guidance, I guess if you want to call it that, to young cats. Uh, it's crazy how it all started too, because we did it at Golden Hills back like 20 some odd years ago. And then we back doing it again. And so with that, understanding how the friendship, it organically grew, right? So when you're talking about nowadays, because you started as like, my circle's small. Now, granted, you came up with some cats, but then and we're gonna get into your professional stuff, how you rock there. But like, how important was it to you as you started to mature to stay connected to those cats that you grinded it out with from the beginning? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it was very important. I mean, they all have something to offer. I'm not one cat. When I say we all went away to school at the same time, I would talk about myself, how I didn't go to school. I went to junior college, but I got buddies that went to Southern University. I got some that went to Washington State. I got some that went to Morris Brown. Um, I just had people just leave, and I was just left alone here by myself. So I ended up going to a junior college in Sac City for a year, and just school ain't for everybody. So it was very important that I just stayed grounded and focused with them, because I knew one day when they get out, 4-year college, they're going to be successful. That's all I could think about. It's like, once they get out of school, they're going to be successful people. So I got to get on my shit right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't be sitting at home half-assing it, because when they get out, they're going to be successful and they going to leave me behind. No matter how cool you is as friends, if you don't put in work, you ain't going to be nothing. So when they got out, I was making sure I was successful too. Had a full-time job, making good money, and I just never looked back from there.
Yeah, and so we're gonna get to that, because that's one of the main reasons I got you on. But as we just transition real quick, so now you know grew up, you know, now you become a dad, and this is the thing I've been on lately, man, is especially black dads. Now, this is what kind of pisses me off when I hear some dads, not all, but some who, maybe they ain't connected to the daughter because they've never been a girl or anything like that. I know my first child, my daughter, that like changed my whole outlook, you know what I'm saying, on
Yeah.
life. And then me trying to be the best dad I can, or the best man I could be in her life. You know what I'm saying? Man, talk about becoming a dad, man, and how that may have opened up your mind to different things, or maybe made you move a different way, or maybe how you feel. But like talk about becoming a father, bruh.
What's crazy about that is not only am I a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm a dad, I'm an uncle, I am big brother. I'm everybody. I got 4 daughters myself, and I got 3 sisters. So I've been the man in the house. So me becoming a father at a young age with a daughter, it just changed my whole life. Everything I did on the streets, all the late night hanging out, all that had to stop. I had to make sure I was there for my daughter. I had to get a full-time job. Diapers need to be bought, clothes need to be bought. So you being out there on the streets, hustling, selling dope, boosting, jacking, bipping, you get caught up in that game, you're not gonna see your child. And my main focus was, you know what? I want to grow with my child. I don't want to see no other man raising my child, or my daughter to be, as much successful as she can. I'm gonna be a part of her life, because I grew up without my father. But I did grow up with a stepdad. Thank you, Pops. Rest in peace. but I grew out without my real father. And just that time frame from not having a father to getting a stepfather, it kind of changed me. It made me say, you know what? I wish my father was there for me. So it was very imperative for me to make sure I was going to be there for my daughter, no matter what she wanted to do. Then I had another daughter, and I was just like, oh yeah, now I really got to go hard, because I'm the type of dude that be like, I don't want my daughters having no boyfriend because, hey, if daddy can't get it for you, can't nobody get it for you. You don't need ask no dude for nothing. Don't ask no dude for nothing. Daddy can get it for you. So, hey, I just focus hard, put all my boots to the ground, and just start grinding hard, working hard, pretty much.
Yeah, I want to say to that, man, and I want to make sure that people understand this, that like my boy just ain't talking just to be talking. So he just celebrated a big number birthday recently, and to watch his daughters, like granted, there was a lot of people there, but to watch his daughters speak the way they spoke about you, bruh, like that says a lot about you and your character as a manhood. So I just want to acknowledge that off top. Like I know firsthand, like I done seen him in action as a father and so forth. But when you hear it come from those people that you're doing it for, I know for me sitting there listening, man, I was touched. I was like, man, that like, you know, that's for real because they was talking from their heart. Like
It was a
Pops is
beautiful
like the
thing.
man,
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing I want to share right now. Like if you got some words of wisdom for young brothers that's either maybe thinking about becoming a father, maybe be a new father. And let me just be mindful of this as well. We got a lot of good, solid bruhs that maybe got sat down for a minute and now they're just being reintroduced in the father role with their children or child. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's some nuggets, man, that you might get out there and be able to throw to them to help them and kind of lead them into being a present and productive father?
Well, I mean, first of all, um, there's no time frame on when you're going to be a father. I didn't say, hey, I want to be a father at 17. Some things just happen. But if you are going to be a young father at a young age, I just say you got to just be mindly focused. You got to focus. You got to focus on the main goal. What's the end result? And once you focus on that main goal, you have to make a plan. Your plan has to be start small. What's your 5-year plan, right? So when your daughter is going to be firstborn to 5 years old, where do you see your daughter at 5 years? So you have to make a plan. It starts from working, and nothing gets done without working. And I know people sit out here and steal and rob and bip and stuff, but man, there's always ways to make money. That back in the days, my uncle told me, if you got a truck, you're going to make some money. I mean, you can haul shit. You can go to the dumps. You can pull a trailer. If you have a truck, it's always ways to make money. Nowadays, they got the shit we didn't have growing up. They got the DoorDash. They got the Walmart carts. I mean, it's always ways to make money. So you just got to stay focused because that fast money, that's not that right money. Fast money is not the right money.
So to me, it sounds like almost entering into fatherhood as you would into a business, kind of a business plan. If you want to be successful in business, you better have a business plan. If you want to be successful as a father, you better have a plan
For
for
sure.
being a good father.
For sure. I mean, even at a young age, you still want to show your father. You feel like a man. You feel better knowing that you went to work and came home and made whatever $500 a week, and you was able to buy your child a pair of Jordans or a pair of a Gap sweatsuit or something. It's like, I mean, you feel good about bringing home Pampers. You feel good putting food on the table. When you got to struggle and figure out how I'm gonna get my next meal, or let's go to my mom's house to eat, or let's go to uncle's house to eat. If you got to figure it out every day, man, that shit get played out. That should get played out. So as long as you got a goal, yeah, you have to have a goal. You have to figure it out. Once you know you're gonna be a father, you got to figure it out.
I can dig it.
Period. You have to figure it out. Education is the key.
Some form of way you better figure it out as a father. There's no I don't know or I can't. No, bro. Get out there and do it.
No. And like I say, I didn't go to college. I went to college 1 year and I realized I had my child and I was like, you know what? I am that father that says, you know what? I got to work. I got to change. Could I thought about, 4 years later, maybe I got a great job after graduating, or do I got to go to work right now? I decided I got to work right now, so I decided I'm going to go to work. By the time I'm done working, my boys will be out of school. I got 4 years on the job training. They got a 4-year degree. So, I mean, to me, that's like the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was making good money. I was good to go. So I was able to provide for my daughter and my family. I'm good.
Yeah, nah, and so now we're gonna start to transition into that because, like Maine said, his uncle, who I still like, if that dude, because I owe him, like, he's forever in my favor. He brought me in when I was down. My mom was going through her illness, you know what I'm saying, and then that's how me and Maine kind of connected. And I remember, and me and Maine took this to our other jobs. Like, bruh, you can't tell me there ain't a job for you. There's a job for everybody to do something. If
Yeah.
it's picking up dirt off the ground,
Yeah.
there's a job for it. You know what I'm saying? So with that, dog, folks, if this dude right here is like the ultimate serial entrepreneur, hustler. If there's a business to be had, he got it while still keeping a professional position. Dog, talk to me about that mentality of business minded and a go getter, man. Like if it's out there, I'm gonna go get it. Like you said, if it's out there, I'm gonna go get it. Boots on the ground, let's do it. Like, how did that come into ambition? How did you set it up? And I want to say this: you successful, bro. Like you got
Thank
things
you.
going on, man. Like,
Yeah.
what's the energy to take to get all of that, dog?
You know what? This may sound crazy, but I'll be honest. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like working for other people. I'll be honest. So what I had to do was go out there and figure it out myself. If I want to be a boss, and act like a boss, then, if I want to give orders and, not have people give me orders, I had to go out there and figure it out myself. So, like you say, man, I keep a full-time job. I had a full-time job since I was probably started off in Ring World, Vallejo, California. What, 10th grade? Ever since then, I had a full-time job. So even on top of me having a full-time job, I study a lot. And the best thing for me is like YouTube. I learned how to do LLCs on YouTube. I learned how to do a business license on YouTube. I learned how to get my insurance on YouTube. All I do is watch YouTube, study, figure it out, and put it to use. So I started my first company years ago. I opened a paint and body shop, and it was successful. I did that for like 7 years, and never painted a car in my life. Never did body work in my life. Never even. I'm damn near don't even like washing cars. You know what I'm saying? But I decided that I wanted to open a paint and body shop because I have a love for cars. I like cars. People that know me, I probably stay with like 6 cars at one time. So I said, you know what? It got to be money in that, right? I mean, based on because you wreck your car, you pay insurance a certain amount of money. They fix your car for like $10,000. I mean, it got to be money in that. So I opened a paint body shop, did that for about 5 years, 5 to 7 years. And in between time, I opened up a detail shop. So I had a paint and body and a detail, what goes hand in hand. Very successful to COVID hit. Once COVID hit, a lot of these companies wasn't sending a lot of cars out. I still stuck around for about another year after COVID. Then after COVID, went back to the drawing boards, had another plan. So I said, just in case something happens again, how can I figure out how to make money where I don't have to be there, but at the same time, I still bring in the revenue? So I opened a barbershop. Opened a barbershop like 3 years ago in Cordelia, 364 Pittman Road, True Barber Lounge. I opened up a barbershop about 3 years ago. I got 11 barber chairs, 3 suites, and a cafe, which the cafe I never opened. But that business is a self-made business. Pretty much, I did put a lot of money into it to get it looking to where I wanted to look, gutted everything out. But what I do now is I make people IBOs, independent business owners. So they come in, they rent a chair from me, they get a business license, they get their insurance, and then their own business. I don't want people working for me forever. So I teach them how to become successful. I done had a mixer there, a seminar to where I had people showing them how to get business license. I had people showing them how to open bank accounts. I had people showing them real estate. Basically, like I say, I don't teach people how to stick around. I teach people how to be successful and just move on. I won't be mad if somebody come and work for me for 4 years and say, hey, you know what? You taught me the game. I want to go start my own barbershop. I know I did good. So that's what I do right now. I rent out suites, whether they cut one head or 15 heads a week. They pay me a certain amount of money. I know what I got coming in every single week, period. So that's kind of where my focus is right now, how to figure out how to just make revenue and not have to worry about, well, if you don't come to work today, are you going to pay me? Or if we don't have this, am I not going to make money? So I pretty much keep a full-time job and run a barbershop.
So, and I know that. So I heard Mr. Fab say something maybe about 2 weeks ago, because it goes directly to what you're saying and what you're doing, not just what you're saying. I want to, folks, y'all need to understand this man is doing it. He's not just talking about it, he's doing it. You heard him say, like, if you come in and you work for me, I don't expect you to stay there forever. I expect you to go do your own thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you all of these tools, right? So Mr. Fab was saying, like, one of the biggest things, man, that kind of like derailed the Black community was the notion of the game is to be sold and not told. He was like, that kind of did us in, because we charge young cats for some things that they should know that they're not going to get nowhere else but from us. So with you doing what you do, man, I just want to commend you for staying on that grind and giving back, because it don't make no sense for us to keep letting these young cats bump their heads on the same damn trap that we bumped our head on. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So that's the real spill right there. And I can't leave out, man. You can't do me like that, bro. You got to talk about the music industry, dog. Come on, man. Don't just talk about cars and the barbershop.
I mean, another thing I just want to piggyback on the barbershop is that the reason why I'm happy with somebody coming into my shop, learning and moving on, because out here where we live in Fairfield, it's probably like 3 barber colleges. People graduate every month. You know what I'm saying? It's a revolving door. People come and go. That's just how work is. Back to that. Yeah, I do music also. I'm in the studio right now, as you see. I've been doing music for a long time. I started back in the days with a record label called Honest Records. This is way back in the days. I'm talking about where
I ain't never lied.
Yeah, I ain't never lied. I mean, it's so long. I got paperwork showing that it was so long I can't even give you a date. But I decided to get back into the music probably the last 2-3 years, and now I'm taking a different avenue about it. I'm in the studio. I'm pretty much just focused on management. I got these 2 artists from Albuquerque, New Mexico. One name is Rakim, and the other one's name is Cali Soul. I met them at a concert out here in San Francisco, California, and pretty much one day said, hey, if you're serious about music, fly out here. Next weekend, they flew out here. We recorded our first EP. Ever since then, we just have this bond to where, I mean, it's everything we do together. Whether he's up here every other month or I go down to LA every other month, we just stay focused, just working. It's just young, hard, grinding fellas. He's a songwriter. Cali Soul is a songwriter, producer, engineer, artist. He does it all. So our main goal is just to sit back and just, it takes time about music. Music is one of those things that you're not going to get successful overnight. It takes a lot of music, a lot of promotion, a lot of videos, and knowing the right person and getting one hit. So we've probably been at it for about 1.5 years, and we're probably about to drop our first album, and I think come October or November. So far, we've just been flooding the street with EPs and singles and trying to do shows in San Francisco, Albuquerque, New Mexico, LA. And I'm very excited for this next album coming out. It's going to be 12 songs.
Tell them the album and the name again and where they can cop that. Where can they find him?
That first EP we dropped was called ISO. You can find that on all platforms. The second EP we dropped was called ISO 2. You can find that on all platforms, YouTube, Apple Music. The third one we dropped, I can't remember the name, but it was produced by Dane, DJ Dane, which is Larry June's DJ. It's fire. It's like a 5-song EP. We actually went out to Albuquerque and did a record release party at the skating ring where they filmed Breaking Bad. So that was pretty nice. We also did a record release party out there. Can't remember the EP though. Damn, but it's on all platforms too. Once you Google Cali Soul, he'll pop up. You can follow him on Instagram at Soul Cali. Yeah.
Right.
So we're doing the music, man. We're in the studio right now. Just pretty much we moved studios from one building to the next building. So we're just in here connecting equipment, making sure the sound is going to be good because we're going to finish the mix down and the mastering up in the studio probably on 17th of next month. So coming soon. We got an album coming soon.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. If y'all about that business, you better tap in with my boy. I was in the studio. I was in the studio. The studio is probably better than some of the big television studios I done seen. I've been in a few, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna blow my horn up like that, you know what I'm saying? So, we done covered a lot of things, dog. We run out of time. I want to make sure I respect your time of things you got going on. I would say this, as a businessman, of the different ventures you've been involved in that you may look into, what's the one connection, whether it's the audio or the detail, the barbershop, or the music? When we talk about business, what's the one connection that you can link all of those together to make you successful?
Oh, that's a good question.
My boy Joe, we just gonna come in here and chop it up. He didn't know I was gonna go that deep on you.
That's a good question. Elaborate more on that. Like, kind of answer you're looking for.
So I think young cats, when I go talk to them, and you've talked to them, me and you've talked to them, they want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't understand the details of what like, ain't no off days as an entrepreneur when you own your own business. You know what I'm saying? The time you got to put in, like you said, you learned a lot on YouTube. Like, you got to educate yourself on whatever it is you're trying to get into to be successful. And I think maybe where a lot of young people go wrong is they miss that one little thing that it takes to be successful.
Yeah.
And whatever you've done across these different enterprises, man, has proven to work. So that's why I say, like, what's the one thing? Because you don't went from the car industry, to music, to barbershop.
I'll be honest. I don't get no sleep. I probably sleep like 3 to 4 hours a day, but that's by my choice. Because I feel like if I go to sleep, I'm gonna miss something. Whether it's the stock market at 6:30 in the morning, or it's an email I got to send out or something. So the key thing is like I say, if you're gonna set a goal, a 5-year goal, you got to be committed to that 5-year goals. You may not be able to go on vacation with your friends. You may not be able to go to Cabo. You may not be able to go to that concert, and you may not be able to buy that old school car. You have to be committed. You have to be committed. So I can say pretty much out of all my ventures I started, I was dedicated. I didn't sleep. It's my business. I want it ran how I want to run it. So I was a part of the flyers. I'm part of the emails. I'm part of the website. I did the logo. I started all the business paperwork. Everything's in my name. I picked the building. I picked even when I had to paint body, I picked what kind of paint I wanted. When I had the detail, I picked the soap. It's like I want to be a part of everything, until somebody could come in there and give me some different ideas on, I like to just be forefront of everything. I like to wake up in the morning, the first one to open the door. I like to be the last one to close the door. That's the only way you're going to be successful. You got to put in time. You got to put in work. You got to put in the hours. It's not going to just be handed over to you. But you know what?
I told y'all, money coming in, committed.
You'll be able to sleep later. When you got money coming in and you successful, that's when you sleep. You know, my goal is to retire early. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to retire when I'm 65 and take all these trips and travel." Look, I want to travel I want to retire when I'm 50. So when my body's still cool, when I take my shirt off, when I'm in Hawaii or at the beach, I want to be all wrinkled at 65, 70, retire. I want to retire at 50. You know what I'm saying? I still want to be cool out there on the beach, you know? I don't want to be that wrinkled man out there. So um, my goal is to retire early, you know, be successful, retire early. I just put two daughters through college. One graduated from Howard University. The other one graduated from San Francisco State, you know, and I got another daughter that's in a nursing program. So I try to lead by example. You know, I try to lead by example. And then hopefully, you know, if things backfire and don't work out, they are successful in life and they're going to take care of me. So, hey, man, I done did all I can do for them right now. And but I'm not done. I'm still grinding. I got another business coming soon, man. Just remember I said that. Coming soon. Coming soon. Another business coming.
That's not even a shocker, pimp. That's not even a shocker. Bruh, man, I thank you so much. I want to say this before we get up out of here, dog. Like, dude is like one of the most serious cats I've ever met. He always keep it 1,000, but he's the kindest. He come off hella hard, but he's the kindest cat I probably ever met in my life. Like, you know, and that's why I wrote the book, man, because people want to judge us by how we look and how we sound and how we do this, but they don't know the heart that we have inside. And before we close, because you said something to me, man, really kind of moved me in a way that you don't know. But when you opened that barbershop, me and you had a lightweight discussion about why you chose that particular location for the barbershop and what your thought and your vision was for the barbershop, man. If you got like 30 seconds, man, can you just say what your thought was for the barbershop?
Yeah, so I chose that location for many reasons. I am from Vallejo, and but I currently live in Fairfield. And if you think about it, you go to Vallejo, you Google barbershop, you're probably gonna find 20 barbershops. You go to Fairfield, you find a barbershop, Google barbershops, you're probably gonna find 30 barbershops. I mean, even downtown, it's like 2 barbershops on the same strip. So I chose Cordelia because there's no barbershop within that location. And people got to travel. So you got people from Rodriguez area, that community, Solano College, that community that have to travel to get a haircut. So I chose that area basically because it's not much foot traffic, but it's in a central location to where I have restaurants nearby, I have breweries nearby, I have a hotel. So when people fly in just for the weekend, they got a business meeting. You know, if they want to get nice cleaned up for their interview, they can come to the barbershop. You working at Solano College, you want to come take a break, come get a quick haircut, you can come get a haircut. It's because it's going to take you 15 minutes to drive to Fairfield, 15 minutes to drive back. So I'm right there in a central location of Cordelia, 364 Pittman Road, Suite 5. It's called True Barber Lounge. So that's the reason why I chose that area. Just central location.
And I just thought, you know, when we start talking about young folks and you getting a business plan and being an entrepreneur, it's so much more goes into it than just trying to get the bag. In order to get the bag, you got to start somewhere that makes sense. You got to make dollars to make sense. Shout out DJ Quick. You know what I'm saying? And I thought when you said that, man, I was like, man, bro was like on his money because he already knew what he was looking for and he knew what kind of location he wanted. In real estate, they say location, location, location. You know what I'm saying? So we running up on the time. I want to say this, dude, before we get up out of here. It's your floor. You can take as long as you want, 10 seconds, 20 minutes. I don't care. But it's Mannish Monday, man. When we talk about men, like I say, man, you up there as far as men go and how they get down and act like a man and behave like a man, carry yourself like a man, and what all encompasses being a man, whether you work, you're you know what I'm saying, you're a businessman, you hustle, whatever the case is. Mannish Monday, Mac Main. Give me your best advice to them young brothers out there that might need to hear some game from you.
I mean, basically, after me sitting here talking, I never mentioned money a lot, right? I didn't say it took me a lot of money to start all these businesses. Only thing I said was it took me a lot of money to remodel my business, right? I remodeled the barbershop. But to do all these things, to be successful, I mean, you're looking at LLCs, less than $100. You're looking at business license, $45, $50. You're looking at a city license for like $25. All this is inexpensive. You could go get a business license right now and sell t-shirts on the street. You go get a business license right now and go pick up this trash. When they was on strike with trash, man, I'd have got me a truck and trailer and I'd have start hauling trash for people. I mean, it's just ways you could do it. But when you do things, do it the right way. That way you don't have no problems, have records when you do things. Show that I've been having a successful business for 2 months, 2 years, whatever, 10 years, just do everything the right way. They don't try to half-ass it and say, well, I don't have money to get a business license, because you do. I don't have the money to get an LLC, because you do. If you don't want to get into California, you could go get it in another state for like $45. So just do things right and it'll all pay off. When you got to renew your license for the next year or renew your LLC, you're going to make sure the money's there, because you want to be a successful business. So the money's going to come. Just sit there, focus, grind, put in hours, put in the time. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm never afraid to ask for help. I ask my friends for help, because they my biggest supporters. When I do a grand opening, they're the first ones going to get a call. They're going to tell somebody to come in. That's it is. As long as my family and friends is there support me, I know I'm successful. So to end it on that note, like I say, I got a new business venture coming out soon. Hopefully by the end of the year. If not, beginning of the year. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Hey, y'all heard it first here, right here on Smith the Speaker, man. The boy got another venture coming out. Big dog, man, I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you for having me.
Game, man. You know what I'm saying? I know I always can count on you. And I want to say this to you young cats. I don't care, man, woman, female, whatever. Don't sit here and tell me do it. Don't sit here and tell me, oh, man, I can't do that. Yes, you can. This man is proven to, and this is another thing. He doing more than one thing at the same time.
Yeah.
I tell young cats all the time, you want to be a doctor, and don't just limit it yourself to being a doctor. While you being a doctor, you be cutting hair, you could be fixing cars, you could be mowing grass, you could be doing a lot of things at once. So don't sit here and tell me that you can't do it because I'm looking at him like I legit know him, like he's a real person. It's not just some dude. I know him. I've seen him grind. So, man, I appreciate you. By the way, if y'all didn't already know, I'm here in the shop. I'm here in the shop because this is how we do. You know what I'm saying?
He in one room. I'm in the studio.
It's how we do. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. That's how we get down, man. Appreciate you so much, folks. Mannish Monday, man. Like, this is how I get down. I bring cats in. We're going to talk about some man shit, about some father shit, just about some life shit. And I couldn't be more happier that I had this dude as one of my first guests on Mannish Monday, bro. Appreciate you so much, man.
Man, I want to thank you for having me. Anything you need, bro, just reach out to me. I hope this ain't my first and last one. I mean, give me another invite. I'll be back for sure.
Come on, man.
For sure. Hey, we do this.
Open invite. Open invite.
Let's do it.
What I'm saying? Say less. I got you. I'll talk to you next time, pimp.
All right.
Bro, hey, look here. Mannish Monday, man. Smith the Speaker. You know how I get down. If you didn't learn nothing from that right there, that's on you. You should have had a pen and paper out. That's what you should have had. A pen, a marker, or Sharpie, or something. You know what I'm saying? The one thing I will say this, that if you missed it, when we're talking about being successful in business, whatever the business is, you got to be committed to it. You got to be committed 24/7 to it. It ain't no wishy-washy, half-ass, oh, I don't have no business plan because I'm going to wing it. No, you can't wing it. That's how you're going to fail. You know what I'm saying? You got to be committed to it, down to the P's and to the Q's, to the cross T's and to the dotted I's. That's why when he thought about the barbershop, it was, okay, where do I want it to be? Why do I want to put a barbershop where there's already two on the block? You know what I'm saying? Now we oversaturating it. That just doesn't work. Okay, yeah, that may work for a liquor store and a church, but when we talk about capitalism and money and we try to do things different, and I will say this, what I know, his barbershop is booming. It's not like, oh, we can't get way out. No, listen, there's the old saying, you build it, they'll come. He opened it, they coming. So there's your game, there's your LLC, there's your entrepreneurship, there's your Mannish Monday. If you committed to anything, whether it's being a father, like he said, have a blueprint for your kids, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, then it's on the high school, and then it's on the college, have a blueprint. You know what I'm saying? You got to be committed to whatever it is you get into. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's your relationship, whether that's, you know, your family, whether it's your work, whether it's school. Like he said, school ain't for everybody, but if that's a route that you taken, be committed to school. Don't be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go to Sac State because I heard they party a lot. Or I'm gonna go to San Jose State because I heard they party. Or I'm gonna go down to a HBCU because, you know, it'd be popping out there. Be committed to what you're going there for. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have plenty, believe me, you're gonna have plenty of time to live it up. Like he said, you're gonna have plenty of time to count your bag. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna get that bag if you ain't committed to it. You know what I'm saying? So, folks, I do this because I want to make sure I'm doing my part, serving up some free game to everybody and everybody get a feel. It ain't about me saying what I done did. It's about me bringing cats like this in here, my boy Mac Main, to come in here and give y'all some of this game. You know what I'm saying? Before we get up out of here, you know where to find me, man. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I'm on Facebook, Smith the Speaker. I'm everywhere like an old penny. You know, I show up and I'm always got the game for you. You know, make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you share it. You know what I'm saying? Go tap in with my boy Maine. If you're trying to make an LP, you need your car fixed or whatever. You need to get a clean fade or some braids or some whatever you need to do it all. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful black folks. You know how I get up out of here, man. Like on the real spill, go have a conversation with somebody that don't look like you, that don't sound like you. And if you shut up and listen, you just might learn something. Until next time, beautiful black people, you know I love you.
Shout out Bird. Hey. These people do not understand. I'm moving as fast as I can. Sending my prayers to God. He doing whatever he can.